Welcome to my home garden. Today I'm going to be talking about blackfly and how I deal with it and how I try and prevent it. If you've not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, if you could please do so, because you'll get lots of helpful hints and tips all throughout the year from my home garden, my allotment and also my home kitchen. Now, it's pretty normal for us all to get a little bit of blackfly on our beans during the growing season, but there are things you can do to try and help prevent it. You have to ignore my chickens. They're obviously trying to get a piece on camera. So that sounds like one of them's laid an egg. So one of the things I do initially is I have some, I do some companion planting. So I've got some nasturtiums in my garden, and what that does is the blackfly automatically attracts to the nasturtiums rather than my beans as the first port of call. And indeed, my nasturtiums have got loads of blackfly on them. And a similar thing up at the allotment. I've got artichokes up there, and the blackfly seems to be attracted a lot to my artichokes, and it kind of keeps them away from things like my beans. So that's a really top tip. If you've not already done that, you could probably still get some nasturtium plants now. So the other thing I do is the first kind of line of defence, as it were, is I check the leaves regularly for blackfly. So what I do is, generally speaking, they're either on the stems or they're on the underneath of the leaves. So I've got some there, as you can see, and all I do is I just rub them off, like so. So I'll go all round the plant, gently rubbing off the blackfly with my fingers. Now, if you've got a lot, it may well be worth getting your brave gloves on and getting a pair of rubber gloves. I've got them out ready, but mine isn't too bad, so I'm just going around them. And you do it like once a week, like when you take your side shoots out of your tomatoes at the same time, come out and do that as well at the same time. So that's a really easy, natural way of doing it. The other thing is to attract beneficial insects, and we have very fortunately got a lovely ladybird there, and that's exactly the kind of bug that you want, that will munch through all the nasty blackfly. Some years when we've noticed lots of ladybirds, my son and myself have actually moved them onto our beans to try and encourage them to eat all the blackfly. So if you that's the kind of thing you want to encourage. If that doesn't work, also after you've rubbed all the little blackfly off, something else I do with my hose, very gently just hose it down. It will do one of two things. It will obviously wash off the ones that you've rubbed off, and it'll also maybe knock off any that are still on there. So that's a really good thing. If that still doesn't work, one thing you could do is to mix a little bit of washing up liquid in a spray bottle with some water, and then you spray that over it. So that's an option. That's more of a natural option. If that still doesn't work and the blackfly is really bad, and I would only do this if it was really bad, there are various sprays out there. There are some really good organic sprays out there, and there are some non-organic sprays. Obviously choose what's right for you, and don't beat yourself up about it if you do have to do it, because remember that anything you buy commercially, they just spray everything, and the beauty, if you spray it, and if you're going to spray it, even if it's just with washing up liquid, is you check the plants over before you do anything like that. I wouldn't spray that in a million years. I don't want to kill my ladybird, so if you were to do it, you can literally just spot spray. But if you do what I do, generally speaking, you wouldn't need to. If you keep a regular eye on it and just keep rubbing them off, going around the stems, if you see any on the stems, if you see on the underneath, just regularly brushing it off, giving it a bit of a hose down, you'll keep it at bay. And a little bit of blackfly is okay. It's if it starts to really infest it and the plants start to get distorted, that's when it becomes a problem. So a little bit, the little bit we've got now is not a problem at all. It's not going to cause any real harm. We've probably got enough beneficial insects to gradually munch through that and for it not to take hold. But were that situation to change, then I might have to think about other options. Now, I do hope that this video has been useful to you and help you stop getting some blackfly this year. If you've got any top tips for getting rid of blackfly, I'd love to hear. If you've got any questions or queries, then please, as ever, please do put them in the comments.